Hey, what's up everybody? tootalltoby here, and in today's Onshape step-by-step tutorial, we're going to take a look at a Tier 3 challenge. Now, this challenge comes from the website tootalltoby.com, and you can click here to get started with free practice models. And here you can see we've got a repository of over 130 2D to 3D challenges where you can try to take a 2D drawing and turn it into a 3D model. We've got about 20 challenges here that are free for anyone with a free tootalltoby account. And then after that, if you really like the app, you can upgrade to the premium membership to unlock the entire library. Well, we can see here that one of these challenges, it's totally free for everyone, is 250109. So we're going to click here to practice, and we can see here that 143 people have completed this model. So let's see if we can become number 145. The skills tested are patterns, revolve, and rib. So let's scroll down to the bottom here, click here to begin, and go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? We're going to try to calculate that, and we're going to put that mass right down here in this box. Looks like this model is using millimeters, mmgs, and the material is ABS. So even though the clock is running, we're just going to take a moment here and kind of come up with a game plan. And usually the first step in that game plan is deciding on where the origin should be. This part looks like it's a revolved part fundamentally, so I think the origin is going to be right here, right at the center of the part. Then we have to decide what's our very first sketch going to look like. And I think that for this part, our first sketch is going to look something like this. It's going to start here at the origin. So the origin is going to be right down here. And that first sketch is going to have a line that comes over, up at an angle, over this way, straight up, over, and then down. Now that's going to be the first shape that I revolve. However, in this first sketch, I'm also going to include the information for the countersink, because I think that's just going to set me up a little bit later to kind of save me one extra step, one extra sketch a little bit later. So that's going to let me revolve that first shape. That'll be this main shape, but the countersink will not be in there in that main revolve. And then I think that my second shape is going to be this rib here. So we'll get in and we'll create this rib. Probably here on the front plane, we'll create the geometry for that rib. We'll bring that rib out. Looks like that rib has a wall thickness of, I guess, 10 millimeters here. It looks like it's 5 to one side, so 10 millimeters total coming across there for that rib. And then once I've got that rib in place, 10 millimeters, 5 on each side, then what I should be able to do is create a pattern of that rib. So we'll create all 3 instances of that rib with a pattern. Then we'll go in and we'll create the geometry for this peg sticking down off the bottom of the part and create a pattern of 6 instances of that peg. And then once we've got that, we can go back in and use that sketch that we created earlier to do the cut revolve for that countersink. So that's going to be my basic game plan. And even though it took me about 2 minutes to come up with that game plan, I think that is 2 minutes well spent. I think it's really going to help us get through the Onshape modeling. So if you agree, hit the like button on this video. And here we go. Let's move this over to our second screen. Let's bring up Onshape. Let's bring up our keyboard cam. And let's choose to create a new document here. I'll call this 25-01-09 peg cap. And we will put this right into the public space. So if you ever want to see this document, you can just log into Onshape and search the public space. Front plane, S key, begin a sketch, N key to get normal to, S key, go into the line command, single click, bring a line over here about 80 millimeters, come up at a slight angle with a line, come over, come up, come over, and then we're going to close off this sketch, and then I'm going to create an extra line down here, and I'll press Q, and you can see that that changes that line to construction. And the reason that's valuable is because now I can press the S key and go into dimension, and I can click this point here and then click that construction line, and then I can cross over that construction line and get a doubled dimension for that diameter. So 160, enter. We're going to create a dimension here to the height of this part that is 15. Once again, we'll do the doubled dimension here. So from this line to that center line, this is kind of a weird dimension. It's in the top view. It's 60 millimeters. That 60 is listed up here in this top view. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. And then the next dimension is going to be from here down to here. and that dimension is going to be 40. And then finally, an angle dimension from here. We could go to the center line again, and that's going to be 10 degrees, excuse me. So that's the first part of this first sketch. If you're following along with as a tutorial, you want to get that sketch to look like this, nice and fully defined. And then you can press the S key and get back into the line command and create a line that comes over and then down, and then hit escape, and then dimension again here. Looks like the diameter of the start of that countersink. So that point, the center line, cross over, then come up here. That's going to be 50. The angle of the countersink, so from here to here, that opening angle there is going to be 110/2. 110 over 2 for that angle. And then the through hole there is going to be 20 millimeters again in that top view. So we'll cross over here and we will call this 20. And if we wanted to, when we jump into the revolve command, so that's what the completed sketch should look like. Again, for those of you that are following along as a tutorial, get your entire sketch to look like that. And then we could go into the revolve command. And then if we wanted to, we could click revolve axis and click this here. And we could certainly choose to just extrude or just revolve this region here and have that C-sync right there waiting for us. It's just, in my experience, it's usually better to create a shape like this solid and then add the C-sync at the very end. And maybe you'll find a spot where you can kind of create some extra geometry overlapping with the center of the part. So we're actually not going to do that in this exact case, but it's good to know how to do it, so we'll practice it here in this run. So we hit the check mark, we come over here to the tree, we call that main revolve shape, and then we go to the front plane, S key, begin to sketch, N key to get normal to, S key, create the line, like so, hit escape here. You can take this point and this line, and I, and you can take this point and this point, really, you can just kind of leave that up in space. We're going to go into the dimension command. We're going to say this is going to be 27 degrees. And then we're going to say that the distance from the center of the model, the origin or the center plane here, to this point is 70 to the rib. And then we're going to launch the rib command so we can get out of the sketch. So green check mark for the sketch. We can go into the rib command, which is up here, rib. We can pick this line, and then we can say we want that thickness to be 10. I know that's dimensioned kind of strange. That caught me a little bit by surprise there. That 5 is only going to the halfway point. So 5 is to here, so it's going to be really 10 for that rib. So we'll make that distance 10. And then you're going to use this check mark here, extend profile to part. So you can see that currently the rib is stopping short. When we hit that check mark, it's going to extend all the way up to the part. So extend profile to part, boom, looks good. Hit the check mark. And then we can fly out this menu here and we can choose circular pattern. So circular pattern, and this is going to be a circular pattern of 3 instances. And this is going to be a feature pattern. So you have to go into this pull down menu here and choose feature pattern. So feature pattern, and the feature of pattern is going to be the rib. Just click on the rib somewhere. And then the axis of pattern is going to be this edge right here. Look at that preview. That looks so good. Hit the green check mark. Boom. Done with that one. Pick this face down here. S key, begin a sketch. N key to get normal to. And we can see here that rib, if you're not sure, where the rib is, because you need to align this to the rib, you can fly out this menu over here and you can say that you want to view, instead of shaded with edges, you could say view translucent. And that way you can see, the first circular peg should go right about there. So S key circle, and we're going to pick here on the origin, move our mouse out. This has a diameter of 130, so we single click 130, enter, and then we S key for the circle command here. Whoops, I exited the command. Sometimes I try to remember to glance up here and see if the button is already pressed in. That way I know I'm still in the command. So this is going to be, you can see there, it's going to be coincident and horizontal, coincident to that circle and horizontal. Single left click, move your mouse out, single left click, let go of your mouse. And this one is going to be diameter 18. On that lower front view. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extrude that. Now, if you don't want to worry about having to control what you select during the extrude, you can hit escape, pick this circle, and press Q. And you can see that when we press Q, it makes that for construction. So what that'll do is it'll be ignored when we go to create a solid. So just to kind of see a before and after here you can see what it looks like when it's solid. And now we're going to go to extrude. And you can see that this entire region gets selected and gets extruded. So now I'm going to press escape. I'm going to go back into the sketch. So I double click on the sketch. I'm going to click this circle here and press Q. And now I'm going to go into extrude. And now this time only that kind of peg shape gets selected for the extrusion. So that's because when you make something for construction, the solid geometry ignores that sketch geometry. So this is going to come down to a height of 20. Enter, enter. Let's go back over here to our view and we'll change this back to, let's see here, we'll change this back to, from translucent, we'll change it back to shaded with edges so we can see the whole thing. And now we're going to go circular pattern. This is going to be a feature pattern. The feature of the pattern is going to be this peg. The axis of the pattern is going to be this edge. And then the instance count is going to be 6. So 6 instances, that preview looks good. Finish out that command. And now the final tool or the final step is going to be to go back to our very first sketch, click on this little eyeball here. And then once we click on that eyeball, we can go into the command. So what that eyeball does is it shows the sketch. So we're showing the sketch. There's a little eyeball here. Eyeball. So we're showing the sketch and then we're going to go into Revolve. And this is going to be a remove. And then the faces and regions to revolve is going to be in here. Now here what we can do is we can press this key in the upper left on your keyboard, this key here, and that lets you pick that inside region. So I picked that little, that key inside my keyboard. In this case, what I did was while I was holding it, I just clicked in that region. So you can see my mouse is here. I can't pick that region of the sketch. I hold that button, left click, and then I am able to pick it. And then here for my revolve axis, I'll just choose this center line here again and see we're doing a remove. So we get this nice countersink. So we hit the check mark. So we could rename some of these things, Shift N, countersink. We could rename this one here, Shift N peg. Could rename this one here, Shift N peg pattern. We could rename this one here, rib pattern. Obviously, if you're trying to speed run this, you wouldn't want to spend time. But if you're doing this for your coworkers, this is a good habit to get into. And then finally, what we can do is we can hide that sketch. We can press P to hide the planes. We can right mouse button here on the name of the part. In the parts list, we can say edit appearance and make this kind of match the appearance or get a little closer to the appearance that the customer gave us. Customers always like that when you, when you take the parts that you're giving them and you kind of match the appearance that they've given you. They always really appreciate that. And then finally, we're going to right mouse button on the name of the part down here in the parts list, say assign material. And we'll come in here to the tootalltoby custom material library, and we'll make this the material ABS. And then we hit the green check mark. And then if you look down here, kind of behind where I have the clock, you got these scales here. You click on those scales, then you click on the part, and we're coming up with a mass here of 393 grams. So we come over here into this box, 393, enter, and oh yeah, we did it. We got it right. That is awesome. So it says, congratulations, this answer is correct, and you did it in 11 minutes and 56 seconds. Not bad, not bad. And so I'm gonna say submit. And boom, we get some extra information. So now there are 144 people who have successfully completed this model. And we can see down here that the average time for this model was 12 minutes and 32 seconds. And my time for the model was 11 minutes. So awesome. So we did it faster than the average time. That is awesome. The fastest time here is by Aaron C, 2 minutes and 1 second. Wow, that is super fast. So if I wanted to try to get my time down, I could absolutely use the try again button. But for me, I'm always happy whenever I get it faster than the average time. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that tutorial. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. And you can see here where some of the fastest times were if you ever want to try and speed run this thing. It's always fun to go back and do that try again to see if you can get that fastest time down. But again, if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on this channel. Let me know if you have any comments down below, if you learned anything new, or if you have any questions about how I did this tutorial. And I look forward to seeing everybody in the next Onshape step-by-step tutorial.